Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brightworks, another match of Beyond All Reason. Today we're taking a look at one of my favorite maps of all time, Sector 318C. It's got all sorts of crazy lanes and whatnot. We'll take a look at it in just a second here. But spawning on the southeastern corner and representing the blue team is an Armada commander. Goes by the name of Morigi. Today's match going to be a bit of a learner's match, so maybe if you're new to the game, you can find some stuff that you do as well that maybe you can learn from this game. And if you're maybe a little more experienced, just sit back and relax and enjoy what I'm sure is going to be quite a show. Now, spawning all the way on the other side of the map here is the red commander, also playing as Armada. Love to see it, but going into some solar panels. Counteracting my praise is 26 projects. Now, I say that, the wind speed is down to 4 right now, so I guess very well justified right here by 26 projects, who does clock in at 20 true skill and a little silver tail as well. Just about as much experience as yours truly in the game, so who's to really say? I'm sure 26 projects well aware of what the build order is that they're going for here. Going into a vehicle bay up against their opponents over here. Rochambeau is going to be going for a bot lab here, and Omega Biscuit, who has not even gone into a lab yet, going for a whole bunch of wind turbines, doubling down on that wind economy. We'll have to see how well that goes for him. The wind speed so far has been absolutely atrocious. Over in the backline, both on this map are going to have an air commander here, so Kivo Supreme going to be the air player for the red team, Proculus going to be, well, eventually I'm assuming the air player for the green, although for the time being going to be going into vehicles here. Now this is not uncommon, it's a little more uncommon than bot starts, but going for a lab other than the air does mean you can get a constructor out, which can oftentimes be a little quicker to get the metal extractors and all that sort of stuff, but it does put you a little bit behind as far as the air battle goes, so we'll have to see if that comes into play. So, Sector 318C, why do I love this map so much? Well, it's because it's so varied and also it's imbalanced. What do I mean by that? Well, effectively, we have 3 players over on this side versus 2 players over on this side. So the middle of the map can be easily contested by Omega Biscuit and Rochambeau here up against 26 projects and Crayanzor, and then the 3 players over on this side are going to be going up against the 2 players over here. At least that's how it stacks up ideally. Similarly, down south here, we have 3 commanders here who can all apply pressure to Rochambeau and Big Hoss. However, as we can see on this one, indeed, we do actually have 3 commanders here. So that's actually really nice. It means that we do have a basically a little bit of a balancing act here. So Morigi, rather, the blue commander, going to be trying to balance out the effect from having less commanders over here. Now, the metal extractor imbalance doesn't change, right? Like, we still have the same amount of metal extractors on the northern and southern sides here. So we'll have to see if putting the extra commander down south here does mean that this actually remains balanced while still giving a tremendous advantage to this northern side. I guess the advantage really lies on the... Yeah, it kind of lies in the middle of the map, right? There's sort of this split lane right here where Dean's Beans as well as 26 projects have to push through, basically right through here, and then right through here. However, there's also this extra player back here who's going to be going up, lined up perfectly right along that side. So it's a bit interesting. It's a bit of an interesting spread. It's not exactly standard like we would normally see, but that's one of the reasons why I think this match is going to be pretty interesting here. Already the Ticks snipe a Grave Robber right there. Excellent pick off for the early game here. That Tick control looking fabulous right now from Morigi. Definitely knows what they're doing with those early game scout units. So dangerous to those early Grave Robbers that want to eat up all these gas bag trees. 350 energy a pop for each one of those. Love the design on these. I love the worlds that have a little bit of an alien aesthetic to them. Just makes them feel, I don't know, a little bit more interesting maybe than some of the cactuses or trees of the other worlds. Don't get me wrong, if we start finding cactuses and trees in other worlds, it'd be pretty interesting as well for a whole host of different reasons. Nice metal extractor pick right there. But yeah, I'm sure I would be excited, as well as many others, to find some more interesting flora and fauna on many other worlds over here. Yawn building up a tremendous force of pawns right here, going all out into production, not expanding the economy whatsoever, just going into T1 and not using any of it to defend. This is bizarre. Okay. Yawn, do we have a response? Yawn just building up the forces right now, but not worried about all too much more. Coming in at 17 true skill and 1 chevron to boot, maybe learning how to play the game still. So maybe if you're watching this, Yawn, one advisement I would give you is to keep a couple of units positioned maybe here, and then have the rest of them moving forward, like you see your teammate over here, Snowdraken, doing. Pushing the units forward, setting up a line so that if it's broken, you know what you're doing. There we go, we're moving the entire army backwards here. Yeah, there's no defenses on this backline, and that is a 3.0 metal extractor I do believe is about to lose its production. To a couple of ticks, at least eventually. Yeah, Morigi doesn't want to lose any of these ticks to the explosion. You can see the hesitancy there. You can usually just fight command them and they won't move too close, but also you can just move them around and they'll usually figure it out. No static defenses here either. Oh no, we can see a huge amount of damage done right now. Yep, indeed, those 4 ticks sniping another metal extractor. They could even get the constructor right here. Oh, I'd love if they could get the constructor. That's tremendous. We already have an advanced solar panel up. That's quite nice right here, at least for the pink commander, but the constructor that was building him goes down right here. Oh no, this is a nightmare. The tick's actually going after the advanced solar panel. I don't think they're going to be able to get it, but yeah, shutting down all those metal... Well, maybe. I mean, there's no response yet. LD123, where is the response? Oh no. 1 tick peeled off to go hit these energy converters over here. Oh, 12%. There we go. Does manage to pop it, taking down all those solar panels as well as the one of the units that was over here. That pawn also a little scuffed up over here. Ticks did not manage to get the advanced solar, but they came damn close. More and more ticks running through, and this is the danger of that air start, right? If you get a couple of vehicles out, you're doing pretty good. A little bit of counter aggression over here, though. Some blitzes do push by. Actually, that's really nice aggression. Yeah, a couple of blitzes. It looks like just 5 of them here. I don't see any that went down. Managing to push into the backlines here and doing a tons of damage. Devious Crumpet now finding themselves in a terrible, terrible position. All of the energy production is down right now for the purple commander. He desperately wants to get this geothermal up, but there's just not enough energy. If the blue team handed over a ton of energy right here to the purple commander, he could absolutely finish that geothermal, and then this is completely playable, completely recoverable. But right now, the purple player is going to be knocked down for a good long while, at least until that geothermal comes up and running. What a nightmare. Beautiful counterattack over here, while these ticks that are now gold star generals are continuing to ravage the backline. My goodness, these ticks have gotten some value. 7 confirmed kills between the 2 of those, and I'm sure there were plenty more between the other 2 that accompanied this whole mess. Oh, the wind turbines aren't spaced as well. Oh no. Another learning moment right here. The wind turbines need to be spaced out at least 1 apart, otherwise you're gonna see a terrible chain reaction just like that. All those wind turbines, that couple hundred metal or so and plenty of energy production, all go down. My goodness. Now, we are up to... Whoa, sorry about that. Bad habit. I wish I could shrink this mini-map. That's probably available, but anyways. These 5 constructors going to be plenty to put up wind turbines fairly quick, but they definitely didn't deal with these ticks that are now, once again, poking holes in the power grid over here. Okay, construction turrets finally clean those up, but my goodness, did those ticks go on an absolute tear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 metal extractors down the drain, not to mention all those energy converters, by the way, that they popped for LD123. What an absolute mess. Looks like there was an engagement down here that I missed as well. Looks like a whole bunch of those pawns did push forward, but didn't manage to break Big Hoss over here. Not the commander at the very least. There's a Centurion there as well. I feel like the Centurion should be renamed Big Hoss, right? Anyways. And just like that, that is a terrible, terrible position right now for the Tan commander, who has all his units once again balled up in his main line. Now, I guess we're just going to run directly into him. That's not going to be the end of the world here for the Tan commander, but yeah, if those ticks take any pathway other than directly towards this massive ball of units here, they're going to be able to get into the backline and then cause a whole bunch of problems. Yeah, very nice. The blue commander calls it out, says don't waste units. Absolutely the right idea. Got to stop that tick spam, make sure they're not just running to their deaths, especially this early in the game. Commander death. What just sniped this? Oh, it was blitzes. More blitzes have run by. Okay, sorry, I missed the commander snipe right there. Looks like a bunch of blitzes have sniped the commander over here. Snifficus gets the commander sniped by a couple of run-by blitzes. 26 projects absolutely putting the hurt on some of these commanders over here. Geothermal did come up here eventually, by the way. Resbot's helping to repatch up this base over here. At this point, we can just eat up this lab. Get the constructor building the metal extractors, and we're going to be all good here for the purple commander, who's not going to be too chuffed about having to rebuild in this forward area. Just means your bots are going to, or your vehicles rather, are going to come up a little sooner. Huckle baby, getting the pressure applied here. Those lightning turrets putting in some serious work here, definitely making this a much more efficient trade than it would have otherwise been. Still, those thugs are pretty tough, though. Yeah, the pawn's just going to struggle so much against those thugs, and especially with those aggravators for fire support, doing a little bit of AoE damage against those pawns. If they're even the slightest bit bunched up, they're going to cause a whole nightmare of problems. More blitzes, getting a whole bunch of damage done. Yep, Centurions, Rocketeers, and just about everything else goes down right here for the Seafoam Commander. 26 projects doing an absolutely killer job. We do have a grunt run by over here. They head into the backline. Omega Biscuit trying desperately to shut all this down. Yeah, those grunts are redirected over here. Trying to flash down whatever they can find. This anti-airbot's not going to be stellar defense against those grunts, that is. Yeah, the grunts just decide to take the free trade right there. The Blitz trying to clean all this up, but it just can't catch those grunts, at least not effectively. Eventually it does get one of them, but still 2 more are continuing to run on by. Oh my goodness. Huge, huge value for these grunts right here. Very, very cheap little grunts, and they managed to take down a ton of economy as well as some of those bots over here as well, which are quite expensive. Very nicely done. A couple of Janus tanks parked over here. I wonder if we're going to be able to move those southward and snipe Snow Draken's commander. Draken laser cannon. There's a StarCraft unit for you. Your StarCraft 2 trivia and beyond all reason. The more you know. Oh, interesting. We're going for an agitator on the high ground. Now, I don't think this agitator is going to have a very clear line of sight towards basically anything. Hold on, I think, well, let's focus on something a little more important here. We'll come back to that eventually here, but a bunch of blitzes have continued to push through here. At this point, there's basically no defense right now that the, Seafoam Commander can mount. There's nothing left for Snifficas, and that means that the lane is completely exposed here. Just pure blitz run by is working out phenomenally for 26 projects, who gets a ton of blitzes into the backline and starts picking apart the Commander's economy over here. Omega Biscuit losing the majority of the economy to a bunch of blitzes going in here. Oh my goodness, that Commander is not D-gunned. Oh, the D-gun. Just like that, the Commander is sniped. My goodness, the value on these blitzes has been tremendous here for 26 projects, who's just continuing to fund all this, by the way, by the units that are being thrown forward here. A whole bunch more blitzes push forward and go down right now, not being used very efficiently, and that is so much metal going back to the red Commander. My goodness. More and more blitzes coming up. Yeah, we're just doing big waves of blitzes. Oh my gosh. Showcasing the power of the blitz, I suppose. At least we know what the red Commander's favorite tactic is. If this were a football game, every play would be a blitz. Is that too cringy of a joke? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. There they go, moving forward. Yeah, they're just continuing to exploit this opening right here. And why shouldn't they? Absolutely found the weakest link right here as far as the defenses for the blue team go, and just going to continue pushing forces through. Finally, there's enough blitzes to start mounting some sort of a defense right now from the cyan green, or the neon green player. Still, though, it's not going to be enough to trade very efficiently. Yeah, those red blitzes can just outmaneuver them, take the good fight, and then move around wherever they can. Oh, there's just no production left either for this Commander, who actually taps out of the game at this point. No constructors left or handed over here, so yeah, that Commander's out of luck right now. My goodness, those blitzes just keep going. Agitator does finish right here, within range of basically only his friendly commanders. Little bit of a scuffle up here. We do have some medium tanks rolling out now, as well as a whole bunch of T1 army. That's a lot of thugs and a lot of rocketeers. Blitz is still in the backline, causing so much mayhem. Wind turbines going down here as the blitzes from the green Commander do try to catch up to him, but there's just no chance. T2 is out now. Yeah, no units though. This is the trap that a lot of commanders fall for. You get into that T2 economy, but you just don't have the units out from the T2 lab, and it means that you're extremely vulnerable to harassment. And just like that, a whole bunch of blitzes get into the backline. Fusion reactor. So close to finished right here, but I just don't know if it's going to come up in time. The blitz is trying to blast it down. Oh no, it finishes. Oh, don't tell me we sniped the fusion reactor. That would just be brutal. We do. Oh my goodness. The fusion reactor pops. Absolutely beautiful run by right there. Talk about value. Fusion reactor pops means that the blue Commander has to spend all their time and resources now going into resbots to pick it back up, put it back online so that we can hopefully recover something here. But it looks like with the pressure up north, the resign vote is called here for the blue team. Not sure if they're going to follow through on it already. Somebody voted no, but this is a crushing push all over the place for the red team here. Lovely little game with these maces pushing forward. The only thing that I'd like to see... Oh, we actually do have the resbots over here. Are these owned by the same Commander? No, they are not. Dean's Beans resbots are hanging out over there. I'd love to see these resurrecting whatever they can, and then reinforcing this army, right? Just handing it all over to Godly Kree so that that army can continue to push. Really nicely done. I guess that's why we see the usual lineup that we do. Surprised that we didn't see more pressure applied to this player over here. Jan has not counterattacked at all this game, but instead decided to just keep pumping out units. Not an inappropriate strategy, certainly effective, but definitely a little bit standard, I would say. Yeah, units swarming through here at this point. The blitzes can just be sent everywhere. 2,616 metal of blitzes. I mean, you send that much metal in anything, it's gonna hit pretty hard if it gets to the other side of the map here, and the blitzes are just so fast in this open terrain that it really doesn't matter. None of these T1 heavy bots are going to be able to catch up to it, or medium bots. Oh, they're light. Okay. Plasma bots, not even the honor of being a light bot. I guess the Centurion is probably a medium assault bot, right? Anyways. I think light, medium, and heavy are just classifications based on health. I'm pretty sure it doesn't indicate basically anything but health. There might be some damage resistances associated with that, but I'm not exactly sure on the numbers there, so don't quote me on it. There we go. Proculus without any energy. Has a little bit of energy. Fires the first D-gun I've seen this game, but still not enough energy for enough. And down goes another Commander to the blitzes. My goodness, the blitzes have gotten some value this game. whole bunch of incisors. The Blitz counterpart here, I guess the pink commander realizing, hey, those Blitzes have done pretty good here. Maybe we should see if we can get some of our own hot action going. And indeed, those incisors do, as they pop a tremendous amount of the energy right here. T2, no chance that's coming up right now unless we fund it off of the corpse of our own units. Yeah, T1 production and T2 at the same time, never a really good situation right there. So much metal and maces available right here, but already the red team has pushed far beyond what you could consider comfortable right now for the red team. Sprinter does run by here, trying to get a little bit of value out. Okay. They sure can. They have just enough health to be sturdy enough to break into the back lines. They have just enough speed to outrun a whole lot of that T1. Basically, only the fastest T1 is going to be able to catch up. Blitzes, maybe. Ticks, yes, definitely, but it's a tick, so you're going to need quite a few of them. Blitz is cleaning up the middle of the map here as well, where there's basically no chance of repairing any of this. There's a couple of constructors out here, but they didn't get back to building, so that entire area will go down. Now the purple base falls as well. The purple auxiliary base that was set up after the initial run by over here falls, and just like that, we do see a pretty overwhelming push right through the middle of the map. 26 projects just eating up so much metal, doing a great job of building the metal extractors too, claiming that production and just using it to pump out more and more units. Keeping the energy production, keeping the unit production, keeping every single source of production super high right here. Love to see it. The Sprinter has actually gotten a lot of value. Went on an absolute tear, killed 1, 2, 3 metal extractors, maybe even 4. Very, very good stuff, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too little too late here. Well, I mean, yeah, if we're going to not eat the solution here is to eat the Sprinter, who has now 3% health. Or just route a single Blitz. There we go. The Orange Commander has a little bit of insight there and reveals it to the Red Commander to just eat up that singular Sprinter, and indeed it does. And so the Red Commander will now be safe. A couple of Hounds moving forward here. Certainly going to do pretty well against this T1 stuff. See those Centurion even melting away. Despite their heavy armor, it is only heavy T1 armor. Those Hounds absolutely stuck on their brothers there. That's a little unfortunate. That's just an unfortunate factor of the game you cannot deal with. A little bit of micro issue right there. Commander comes in. Would love to see the capture here. No point in destroying all this. You might as well just capture it. Okay, we're going to degen it. It's the second best option, but when in Rome. Might as well take a little reclaim of your opponent's stuff. No reason not to. Wow, T2 lab did eventually come up over here. I'm surprised Hucklebaby managed to get that T2 lab up, especially on just a couple of T1 metal extractors here. Definitely reclaimed a whole lot around the base, so I think that was absolutely the right decision. Doing all the right choices, but still, in the end, doesn't even matter. Okay, big Sprinter push. Yawn. Going for that T2 as well as the T1 production. Again, very difficult to afford. There's those Sprinters. They see the Commander. Must be thinking about maybe going for a little bit of a surround. Yawn trying to degen them down, but those Sprinters are too quick for it. They're gonna get into the back line here. Not bad. A little bit of a massive engagement right there. A whole bunch of Blitzes try and surround this army, but there's just enough here for Rochambeau in order to hold. Sprinters do make it into the back line. Wow, okay, they're looking relatively healthy too. Wind Turbine's extremely vulnerable right now. Energy converters go up in smoke. We're thinking about targeting down the build power here. Definitely a good idea. Ooh, gotta be so careful though. Yeah, that Commander could degen them all down. Don't want to lose them. Sprinter's definitely getting a lot of value here. 18 confirmed kills between these bad boys, and they don't think they're quite done yet. Well, a target on the T2 constructor wouldn't be the worst idea either. Just juking and jiving in the back here, trying desperately to do whatever they can. Meanwhile, Commander over here trying to push up this way. Going to reclaim the wreckage of the base in the backline over here that Hucklebaby has adopted. Again, would love to see a capture command, just turning the enemy's units into your own. It's one of the rare things that the Commander, and only the Commander, can do. Yeah, Sprinter gonna have a field day tearing apart these wind turbines. Especially these ones over here. Get a little chain reaction going. Yep, there we go. Just like that, they all light up. They'll take the Sprinter down with them, but there goes a tremendous amount of economy that all could have been prevented if only we had simply spread them out by one click. Maybe people don't know what I'm talking about. Let me just demonstrate that while we watch this battle here. If you hold Shift and left Alt at the same time and drag, you can make a big square. If you hit Z or Z, as in... oh, hold on, I gotta look at my phonetics chart. Zulu. Z is in Zulu. It'll space them out, or X is in X-ray. It'll put them back together. So one space out like that and they won't chain react. There you go. The more you know. Hounds diving these medium laser towers. Not ideal. Ugh, yeah, not ideal at all. T1 jumping on top of them. We're kind of throwing away the T2 here. Hounds especially good at sieging bases like this and dealing with T1 all the same. Definitely would have been much more efficient to just park them on this hill and have them fire at whatever came out of the lab, and then eventually, slowly but surely, whittle down those twin Gauss turrets, or twin laser turrets, rather. The Blitz War. So many blitzes have been sent across this game. Can't even count how many blitzes have been sacrificed in the name of the Reds' progression here. He does claim on these metal extractors too, which is quite nice. Looks like the Cyan base has fallen here as well. The base of Hucklebaby. The original base, anyway. Whoa, rocket spiders making huge connections with those hounds over there. My goodness. Yeah, that is just beautiful. Sheldon's gonna be perfect for besieging all the rest of this base here, applying a whole bunch of firepower where those rocket spiders can't quite hit. Basically anything mobile. Very, very nicely done. Sprinters continuing. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of sprinters. Oh, Kavo Supreme with the huge D-gun. Kavo Supreme with the huge D-gun. A swing and a miss. Unfortunately, unable to D-gun down all those sprinters right here. Now, a lot of them just died in that explosion right there. That's a little unfortunate. Not the end of the world, though. There's still plenty that broke into the backline. There are some LLTs, though. Maybe those LLTs can get some value. You know what? The LLTs clean up the rest of the sprinters quite nicely. You know what? All said and done, I think that commander sacrifice was probably well worth it. Hounds continuing to blast away over here. I'd love to see this button click that switches them out of their plasma mode and into their Gauss mode. Makes them quite a bit more effective against mobile units. Things like aggravators are still going to be quite effective against, but certainly against things like these grunts, they're going to hit their shots quite a bit more often here, which makes them a whole lot more effective as an assault weapon rather than a siege weapon. One of the few units with a switchable, toggleable fire mode, so you might as well abuse it in whichever way that you possibly can. More and more blitzes, though. Killer D-guns from Rochambeau. Does carve away tons of them, but there's so many blitzes, you just can't get them all. Just like that. The well, I guess that's like a Lavender commander does go down right there. Northern side has been swept, and just like that, we're left with just two commanders here for the blue team. We have Morishi, who is parked in their base firmly and steadily, and we have Big Hoss holding the top line over here, trying to build up some wind turbines right now. A little bit risky on this map. Yeah, that wind speed has not been tremendously kind. I think the advanced solars have definitely done the red team well overall in this match. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up until we get into some conflict here, because we all know exactly where this is going. Sheldon are amassing on this northern ridge, alongside a whole bunch of fiends, actually. Love the inclusion of the fiends. Really easy to forget to include the fiends, and then your entire army disappears to, well, blitzes, or, I mean, even T1 stuff can kill them. Really easy to forget the fiends, but it really does strengthen this composition quite a lot. Similarly, welders and hounds can be a really effective combo as well. Welders are pretty much the counter to fiends. We'll go ahead and slow it back down here. Welders are basically the counter to fiends. They just trade a whole lot more efficiently against those fiends. You can think of the welders similarly to the sumo, I guess. That's kind of the similar role that I think of them as. There we go. You can see those welders just absolutely mopped up those fiends. They have a lot of health. They have a lot of sustain. We do have some rolling bombs incorporated in this composition. Probably doing more friendly fire than anything at that point, but still nice. But yeah, the welders, man, what a tanky unit for their size category. They cost 350 metal, and man, do they put out some work. Definitely get a huge amount of health for the metal that you put into them. Hounds building en masse over here, but I feel like a single radar bot would have made all of these hounds 200% more efficient, and maybe that would have meant the difference on this southern side. A little bit more aggression too. I mean, I feel like Big Hoss definitely has the opportunity to go and at least kill this commander over here. Just wanted to point that out real quick. We'll go back to the action over here as we see the Sheldon finally collapsing on top of this base. Mariji's commander in a whole lot of trouble. These welders in a whole lot of trouble as well. There is a radar and radar jammer bot included with these Sheldon, so it's going to make it really difficult to counter siege these. Yeah, the welder's going to have a really hard time catching them. Sheldon can migrate backwards just about as fast as the welder can move. In fact, probably a little bit quicker, I would guess. The welder not known for its speed. Yeah, speed of 47 versus a speed of 50. Yeah, the Sheldon just ever so slightly faster. Very frustrating to deal with as an Armada commander, but we do have sharpshooters out. Sharpshooter's very good at dealing with some units. Balled up Sheldon is definitely one of them, but you do need quite a lot in order to make it viable. Ugh, sharpshooter goes down. Definitely didn't get its value out. Unfortunate to see. Looks like commanders did go down over here. came at the cost of basically all of the wind production over here. We even see gunslingers in well, not mass per se, but in multiples. Usually we see 1 or 2 gunslingers. Somehow the welders managed to get on top of the Sheldon. That's no good. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they manage to connect, those welders will tear apart those Sheldon lickety-split. Still, though, the fiends are ever oncoming. And this is just a desperate last stand right now. We do have a bunch of res bots trying to patch whatever they can together. I actually don't mind it. Any mass that we can put on the front line here I think is going to be valuable for the blue commander. And after just a minute or two, this entire army will be patched back together. I do spy a couple of bombers in the mix right now, though. I wonder if we're going to go for a killer bombing run. Would not be a bad idea. There's also some sharpshooters here. Would be lovely for tearing apart this base, one clickety-clack at a time. Every little snap of the sharpshooter's rifle, you know something is just evaporated into thermonuclear spaghetti. Man, that sumo putting in some work too. Yeah, just waddling its way casually and coolly back to the green commander here, where it's going to start blasting away at whatever it can. The build power. The build power. Well, not going to matter too much. The sharpshooters will basically clean up the rest of this. Not much remaining for the sumo to do, I suppose. No more units anyway. We need vision for these sharpshooters is the unfortunate bit. Oh. That hound has never been more dead. A stray bullet does hit the build power over here, though, so at the very least, we're going to see a nice little shutdown of this base over here. There we go. Sharpshooters do connect with that lab, meaning the end for the green commander. One commander remains for the blue team. Feels like the Battle of Hell's Deep. We're trying to hold the siege here. An ungodly amount of blitzes pushing forward at this point. LLTs trying their very damnedest. Would have loved to see beamer turrets in lieu of the LLTs here, since we're already on the T2 spectrum. Fiends pushing into the base, though. Blitzes do get into the back line and start blasting away at the fusion reactor. It's gonna go, oh yeah, it goes down one more time. Oh, the D-gun took down the fusion reactor. How tragic right there for the blue commander, who is on his last stand. Down goes the very last commander for the blue team, bringing a swift and decisive victory to the red commanders. Really nicely played by the red team. Love the aggression all around here. I feel like that definitely won them the game, especially with those killer blitz runs by 26 projects. Absolutely loved it. If you love this game too, you can always leave a like or join the Brightworks down below by hitting the subscribe button. You can also find the Discord linked in the description down below. There's a whole bunch of good stuff and some lovely folks over there as well if you're looking to get into the game, maybe need some counseling, some coaching, or just want to queue up for a good game. Other than that, though, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the very next Beyond All Reason video. Peace out, folks.